Chapter 3. Whether High or Low in Station. It was nearing morning by the time Gaheris crept across Sword Lane and up to the postern of Castle Thalavar. At least one cell of the Night Masks was already looking for him. He'd had 2 narrow escapes in the city since fleeing Mirkir's dry goods, and had spent hours carefully working around the alleyways. Now, in the gray light of the pre-dawn hour, he waited for the kitchen servants to toss out the waste from the previous day in preparation for breakfast. He hoped Kale was here. The wastrel cousin to the Thalavars liked to disappear into the seedier portions of the city, sometimes for 3 or 4 days at a time, which was how Gaheris had met him, but it would be inconvenient now for him to be gone or hung over. The boy nervously fingered the hilt of his dagger as he tried to keep an eye out for approaching masks while simultaneously watching for movement in the castle-turned-manor estate. He didn't have to wait for long. The postern leading from the kitchen opened and a servant started to throw out the scraps. "Sylvie," he whispered. The young woman jumped before seeing him. "Oh, good morning to you, Gar. Didn't see you there," she said, hurriedly regaining her composure. Gaheris couldn't help but chuckle. "That's the idea. No, I'm not here to beg food this time," he said, waving off her move to reach for the leftovers she was about to throw away. "Is Master Kale here?" She nodded. "If he's awake yet, could you have someone tell him that the boy who, pulled his fat out of the fire at the Black Eye a while back needs him to return the favor?" He crossed his fingers behind his back as she raised an eyebrow at him. "I'll see if he's about," she said, "but no promises." She gave him a last questioning look before tossing the scraps in the midden heap in the alley and turning to go back inside. Gaheris didn't have to wait very long. The young cousin of the Thalavar noble family appeared, rather obviously freshly woken, and probably with a hangover from the way he shielded his eyes from the rising sun. "Yes, and what's this about?" he said crossly, peering at the boy. "Do I know you?" "The name's Gaheris, sir," he said with a slightly mocking bow. "I got you out of a spot of trouble with Reskal's toughs at the Black Eye 3 or 4 Tin-day ago, and you said you owed me one. I need a favor." "Ah, I remember you. Yes, what do you need?" he asked, taking a swig out of a flask he was carrying. Gaheris didn't ask what it was. "I'll make this short. I killed 2 Nightmasks last night." Kale spit out whatever he was drinking. "They forced it. Anyway, I need to get out of the city, and I know your family has shipping interests." "Whoa, slow down," interrupted the Thalavar, pale as a ghost. "Nightmasks? Why do you think I want out of here?" Gaheris answered testily. "Listen, you did help me, but something like this... You know, I could just make sure Lady Thistle finds out that you've been spending your stipend at the Black Eye and Purple Lady," Gaheris said impatiently. "I'd love to know what she thinks of that. If I didn't think you could help me and owed me the help, I wouldn't be here. Just keep it quiet, put me on as a cabin hand, or better yet arrange for the crew not to notice a stowaway. No one need know I was helped." All right, he said nervously, obviously to put out by the threat of his noble cousin finding out the specifics of his habits. "There's a Thalavar ship leaving for Sairloon this afternoon. If you can get to the docks, I'll tell the captain to overlook you."